The white supremacists of this country have turned into economic apartheid police. Tell me why media outlets in this country are questioning why black people are rich and have money and can afford certain things in life. When did we start to answer to media houses about what we can and cannot afford, our affluent living? Is wealth only reserved for white people? The country, or should I say the white citizens, were angry to find out that Deputy President Paul Mashatile owns a property worth 28.9 million in Cape Town. I read an article online accusing Paul Mashatile of being the Marie Antoinette of South Africa, living in luxury while his people live like paupers. And I'm like, bullshit. If these white-owned media cared about the people of South Africa, all of us would be rich and wealth would be distributed equally. The article reads as follows, and I quote, it's from News 24. The 7-bedroom luxury residence purchased in 2023 by his son-in-law Nceba Nonkwelo through a company named Bill Coast, later renamed Danto Guest House, has sparked a renewed scrutiny over Mashatile's financial dealings and transparency. The declaration, reported by News 24, comes after investigations revealed that Mashatile allegedly benefits from properties acquired by Nonkwelo, his son-in-law, including a 37 million rand mansion in Johannesburg Waterfall Estate. Despite earlier claims that the Constantina property was intended as an upmarket guest house, sources indicate that a Presidential Protection Service detail is stationed at the mansion, suggesting Mashatile or his immediate family uses that expensive property. Nonkwelo has previously acknowledged that the property may be available to Mashatile occasionally, but denies any wrongdoing, asserting the purchase was a legitimate business transaction funded by a loan.
These are the interests Mashatile registered last year. They include a residential property in Midrand, a smaller second property in Sandton in Johannesburg. Now, just a year later, those interests have changed quite drastically. In this year's register, Mashatile declares 3 properties. The first is a 4,000 square meter family home in Constantia, Cape Town. The second is a 9,000 square meter family home in the exclusive Waterfall Estate in Midrand. The third is a 3,000 square meter family home in Calvin in Johannesburg. The value of the properties in Constantia and Midrand are estimated at 28 and 37 million rand respectively.
Why should we be in a position where, we feel like we have to answer to people about our personal life? White people are using the ANC's corruption as a shield against rich black people. He is corrupt. He can be rich. How can he afford this lifestyle? He's black. Say what you truly want to say. Black people in this country aren't allowed to be rich. Why else is there a huge gap in wealth between blacks and whites? No one asks Rupert, Steyn, or Oppenheimer how they managed to get rich. These 3 families own 90% of the country's wealth, which was made possible by the apartheid government. They stole a lot from us, but no one says shit. Why is their wealth seen as legitimate and we are seen as thieves, yet we never invaded anybody? Huh? Why is it that when it's white wealth, no one questions it? Like, I don't know, these white people might be moving heavy drugs in connection with cartels, but no one says anything. But Paul Mashatile, God forbid, a black man, a deputy president, for heaven's sakes, owns a property worth 28.9 million rand. Now the country is up in arms. How does he afford this? How can he afford this? News 24 is up in arms about this. There's a whole plethora of news to be reporting on rather than someone's personal bank. Paul Mashatile is a businessman. Besides him being a deputy president, he is a businessman. He's a businessman, and obviously he siphons money from the state. He's corrupt. He makes money that way. Hence, he can afford property. Why is it that Rupert can afford his mansion that is worth $135 million, by the way? How can he afford that? Where does he get the money from? No, man. I hate that when it's white wealth is seen as legitimate, and when it's black wealth, then we start questioning, how does he get the money? Where is he from? What does he do? He must provide proof of payments, his transaction. We want to see his life. Did 1994 signal that, hey, you have your freedom, but you can't be rich? You don't have your economic freedom, you have freedom. We will stop beating your asses, but when it comes to wealth, we can't give you. And when you acquire certain assets, we will start to question you and will ponder you with the media. No, man, the white-owned media needs to stop this. There's a plethora of things happening. People are dying. There's a new gonorrhea that is from, West Africa that has infected people in South Africa, and antibiotics are not responding to this gonorrhea. You can report on this. You can report on Operation Dudula. There's a lot. But you choose to report on someone's personal bank, someone's personal money, someone's come on. I don't care how corrupt the NC is. Well, to a certain extent, I do care. I mean, it affects me. But when it comes to black people being rich, there's something that I'm not gonna question. It's not something that I'm gonna question. There is a huge inequality in the wealth of South Africa. A huge wealth gap between blacks and whites. This is something you should be talking about. How apartheid shaped the narrative of how wealth should be distributed in the country, not how someone makes money and lives in a 28.9 million rand property. Good for him, actually. Good for him. It gives me as a black person hope that one day I might live in the Constantina. Hey, there's a plethora of things to be reporting about. White people like to set black people up. You guys see us as incompetent. You guys see us like we don't deserve good things in life. It's only reserved for you guys. I'm going to report on a story where the Minister of Public Works, which he's from the DA party, he apparently, I've been investigating it, but I've made up my mind. They have set up the CEO of a certain company. This minister wants to remove this black CEO so that he can put in his white friend. So he set him up, put the media on to spy on this woman and claim that this woman takes bribes. She bribes journalists so that she can get away with corruption. There's a new trend that is going on in the government of national unity where white politicians set up black politicians using the white-owned media to expose how corrupt they are. We are not stupid. We know that the ANC is corrupt. We are not stupid. We know that people are corrupt. But you guys perpetuating this harmful narrative and setting up journalists to go and spy on black-owned businesses and black politicians so that you can expose them, so that you can get your lick back, or you can garner votes, or you can gain favor with the public is BS. It needs to stop, and it needs to stop now. Black people are deserving of power. You are deserving of wealth. You are deserving of greatness. It's not reserved for white people. If anything, these three families, the Steyn, Rupert, and Oppenheimers, they are the ones that stole from the apartheid government, moved the money into 1994, and appointed political stooges like Ramaphosa so that they can control them behind the scenes, so that they can increase the wealth gap between blacks and whites. If the News 24 really cared about black people, we would have been rich, all of us. Report that there are some places, black neighborhoods that don't have water. They don't have access to healthcare. Report on that. You want to tell me that Paul Mashatile sleeps in a 28.9 million rent property? Good for him. If anything, he must call me. I want to eat that money with him. He must call me. Because I am a fairy with a fatty. Thank you guys for joining me on the Native Talk. Please stay tuned for more news that is concerning of the diaspora. Something that concerns the diaspora, I am on it. I will report on it. So please stay tuned for more information. Stay tuned for more news like this, for more groundbreaking news like this. So please do comment. Let's engage. Follow me on Instagram. The link is in my bio to my Instagram. Until then, you can catch me on the African Diaspora News channel every single day, Monday to Sunday. I am there. I am giving you the lowdown of what is happening in Africa, particularly South Africa.